We are going to do something about Greenland, whether they like it or not. How did this island, covered with layers of ice, suddenly become the center of the world's attention? Why is America so intensely chasing after Greenland? The real reason is far more important than minerals, oil, or even American security. So important that it can change the entire world order. Once again, welcome to DarkFiles. Greenland is the world's largest island, located near the North Pole, and 80% of it is covered with thick ice. In terms of area, it is even bigger than Saudi Arabia, Mexico, and Indonesia. But the habitable area is so small that only about 57,000 people live in all of Greenland, mostly along the coastal areas where the ice is relatively less. As for temperature, minus 30 degrees Celsius is normal here, and in the northern parts, minus 50 degrees Celsius is a daily routine. Summers last only as long as winters do in the Middle East. At best, it reaches 10 degrees Celsius, that too under bright daytime sun. So how did this frozen land become the center of a new Cold War between superpowers? American President Donald Trump has even said that Greenland must become part of America, even if military operations are required. Not just once, Trump has repeatedly expressed his desire to acquire Greenland, which has worried geopolitical experts. Greenland is geographically part of North America, but politically it is an autonomous region under the Kingdom of Denmark. Trump wants it to become part of the United States of America. But Trump is not the first person to express such a desire. America has always considered Greenland a vital part of its national security. Until 1867, Alaska was part of Russia, and then America bought it at just 2 cents per acre because America wanted dominance in the Arctic region. At that time, attempts were also made to buy Greenland and Iceland, but the U.S. Congress mocked the plan. In 1910, U.S. President William Howard Taft again tried to acquire Greenland, but failed. The real turning point came during World War II, when Germany occupied Denmark. Then, America took Greenland's security into its hands so Nazi forces could not establish bases there. After the war, in 1946, President Harry Truman offered Denmark millions of dollars in gold for Greenland, but Denmark refused to sell the land, though it allowed America to build military bases there. So Trump is not the first U.S. president trying to get Greenland, but his tone is much harsher. There were several reasons behind Trump's aggressive stance. One major reason is national security. Greenland's Arctic location places it right between Russia and America. Whoever controls Greenland automatically gains better control over the entire Arctic region. American forces already exist there, with around 10,000 soldiers at Thule Space Base. But the problem is that Greenland belongs to Denmark, and many locals want independence. Denmark is not a very powerful country and funds half of Greenland's budget, yet Greenland has no army of its own. Trump fears that if Greenland becomes independent, it may demand the removal of American bases or increase rent. That is why America wants full control. Secondly, Greenland has no army of its own, only Danish defense forces, which Trump considers weak. He sarcastically said that Greenland is protected with dog sleds. While partly true, the world doubts America's intentions because America's past record is not very clean. America attacked Iraq over weapons of mass destruction, which were never found. Vietnam was attacked over the Gulf of Tonkin incident, later proven false. Libya was attacked allegedly for human rights, but many experts believe it was because Gaddafi wanted to introduce a gold-backed currency. So people believe that Greenland is not just about security, but also about controlling resources. Greenland is among the few regions in the world with massive reserves of rare earth elements. These minerals are called the oxygen of the future technology. According to geological surveys, Greenland has the world's 8th largest reserves of rare earth elements. These include neodymium for electric vehicles and turbines, gallium for AI chips and radar systems, uranium for nuclear energy, and silicon for semiconductors and solar panels. China currently controls about 90% of the world's supply of these minerals and has recently limited exports to pressure Western countries. Whoever controls these minerals will be the most powerful in the future, which is why Trump wants to break China's monopoly. Surveys also suggest around 31 billion barrels of oil lie under northeast Greenland alone. Beyond security and minerals, internet cable security is another major reason. Internet cables connecting America and Europe pass near Greenland. Russian ghost vessels are often seen near these cables, and America fears that Russia could cut them during war. Greenland hosts an advanced early warning radar system that can detect Russian missiles immediately after launch. Without control over Greenland, the US mainland becomes vulnerable. But the most important reason no one talks about is the new trade route. Global warming is melting Arctic ice and opening a new sea route, known as the Northwest Passage. A ship traveling from China to London would save around 9,000 kilometers and 10 to 15 days of travel, along with millions of dollars in fuel. Whoever controls this route becomes the gatekeeper of global trade. Russia already has the longest Arctic coastline and wants to tax this route. China wants to build a polar Silk Road. America fears losing control of global trade to Russia and China. Greenland sits right at the entrance of this new route. If America controls Greenland, it becomes a toll plaza for this Arctic highway. Experts believe this could trigger a new global political conflict. Denmark is a NATO member, and if America forcibly takes Greenland, the NATO could collapse because allies may end up fighting each other. If Trump succeeds, the consequences will be severe. America would become the supreme Arctic power. Trust between Europe and America would collapse. China would suffer a massive blow over mineral control. Greenland's ecosystem would be damaged by mining. Local people may lose their culture and freedom. Melting Arctic ice is opening new routes, but also creating new dangers. Whatever happens in Greenland will decide the next 100 years of world history. Whether it brings peace or World War III, only time will tell.